It's time for the latest from Germany's domestic football league, the Bundesliga, and more. For that, we are joined by Chris Harrington from our partner station, DW, in Berlin. Now, before we get to Bayern, Chris, Union Berlin remains undefeated and the only side that haven't lost yet.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, Union Berlin have proven to be a problem. The league is on notice. I'm picking them right now to be a sleeper in the title run, and there's a good reason I'm saying that, because they have a dynamic duo. Geraldo Becker and Jordan Sabachu have been lighting up the league, and it was that duo. Becker found Sabachu after the second half versus Wolfsburg and Niko Kovac to put them ahead. And they continue to impress. Becker scored one himself about 20 minutes later. He was the August player of the month. He leads the league in goals right now with 6. He's contributed 3 assists. That puts him at a league high 9 goals that he has a boot in. I mean, there is not a better duo right now than Jordan and Becker. And Union Berlin as a team right now, they're unbeaten in a club record 14 Bundesliga matches. They've passed the litmus tests, Bayern Munich and others, and there's a reason they sit at the top of the table. If they can stay the course, they can disrupt the Bundesliga as we know it. And there could be a new sheriff in town, as they say, but we're still quite early in the season. But a lot of credit to the team right now. They deserve to be at the top of the standings.
Now, Chris, Bayern might be leading the Champions League group, but in the Bundesliga, it is a different story.
Yeah, really quick on the Champions League. Beating Lewandowski and Barcelona just might mean a bit more to the Bayern brass than their poor run right now. But we have to look at the facts. Bayern Munich are 5th in the standings, and they're playing Augsburg. Who is Augsburg? Augsburg is the Bavarian baby brother to Bayern Munich. And they pick up their first home win against the champions. That's kind of a slap in the face against Bayern Munich. You would expect their run of 3 draws back to back to back. You would expect this to be the turnaround, but this turned out to be the exclamation point on their poor form. And the coach, pretty much lamented the team, as he said, but before how Augsburg got it done, despite not having the ball much, Murgum Berisha in the 59th minute came through. And actually Bayern Munich, before I get to the post-match comments, Bayern Munich actually pulled their goalkeeper Manuel Neuer out of his position to try to convert a corner kick, because he is the tallest player, I believe, in the lineup, and he did get a head on it, but it was too little too late. Right now in Germany, as the world might be aware of, Oktoberfest is going on right now. It's a big celebration in Munich. Bayern Munich actually has an obligation to attend the celebrations. Nagelsmann, after the match, said he has no desire to do that based on their lackluster performance. He said he basically just pointed at the attack in the final third, saying that they had a very laissez-faire attitude. And Sadio Mane missed out an opportunity, in the final third. It looked like he was too slow getting to the goalkeeper. I expect more out of him. Nagelsmann also added that he thinks about everything, about himself, about the situation, about everything. He did come with a high price tag to join Germany, and even their sporting director had something to say. Initially, he said 3 draws, back to back to back aren't a problem, but the sporting director recently said, hey, he's a bit worried right now. The good news, it could be some good news, there is an international break right now, so there's a break from the Bundesliga, but when the Bundesliga resumes, it's not an easy road ahead for Bayern Munich. They face Bayer Leverkusen, and then some difficult clashes with Dortmund and Freiburg, 2 teams that sit above them in the standings right now. So Bayern Munich, a lot of the people out there, hate the Bundesliga because Bayern is so dominant. If they're tuning in this season, they can actually see that is not the case.
Now, Bayern's arch-rivals, Dortmund, won their derby against Schalke thanks to a super sub. What other results stood out for you this weekend?
Yeah, well, the Dortmund-Schalke derby, this is a very historic fixture. It's lost some of its international appeal, but in Germany, in the Ruhr region, it's still a big deal. Substitute Moukoko came through with a beautiful header. You got to watch that goal conversion. I mean, he got some lift, in the air and then converted. And I'd like to see more of him, but there's a lot to juggle for Edin Terzic at Dortmund. He has a lot of attack, obviously bringing in Modeste and so forth. A few other highlights from that match. Gio Reyna had a good look on goal. He's been suffering with injuries, but he looked back. He's back and he looked good, but that attempt was a bit wide. their captain, Marco Reus, he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks due to injury, but he can still make the World Cup. But all in all, this historic fixture between Schalke actually lead this fixture in wins, but it's good that Dortmund picks up a win. And they actually spent, a brief moment at the top of the standings before Union Berlin kicked off. Another match that caught my attention was RB Leipzig. They have a new coach, Marco Rose. Last match day, he faced Dortmund. They were victorious. They blew Dortmund out of the water. He faced another one of his former sides, Gladbach. This time, a completely different story. Gladbach's Jonas Hofmann scored twice, and Leipzig were beat down 3-0. These, among many other interesting results, were the ones that stood out to me. But there's a lot of interesting football to look forward to, especially after the international break.
Well, Chris, what else hits your radar?
Well, I've been talking about the international break. There are only 2 matches left for Hansi Flick in Germany to choose his squad for the Qatar World Cup. And next on Germany's radar, they host Hungary. The last time these two sides met, there was a draw. It hasn't been easy. The one good thing is Germany has a bit of momentum on their back because they defeated the European champions Italy 5-2 in their most recent outing. And Timo Werner led the charge. He scored a brace in that lopsided victory. So on the national side of things, Germany, look good and hope to look good come November.
Thanks for the Bundesliga update, Chris Harrington from our partner station DW in Berlin, Germany.